Our first discussion on this chapter was on what are biomolecules. In that, we have discussed about the carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. What are their uses? All the three things are a kind of food, but they have different uses. And I gave you the example just like if you are going to have a big game, if you are participating in a big race, so before that,
Yeah.
what type of food will you take? Carbohydrates, proteins, or lipids? You have three choices. What would you like
Yeah.
to choose at that moment before a big game?
Lipids.
Why?
No, 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 no. Sorry. Not that. What's it
Mhm.
called? You told me carbohydrates
Carbohydrates, yes. Why?
because like gives you instant energy.
Yes, exactly. Because at that for the game you need instant energy, right?
Yes.
For that purpose, you will take carbohydrates. You will take bread. Like I gave you the example of bread and butter. You have two things. You will choose bread, right? And
Yeah.
similarly, I told you that the athletes, when they start a game, before starting a big game, they usually take pasta or things like that because these things give them instant energy. And what if
Yeah.
you have to survive for a longer period of time? For example, 2 weeks. So which type
Um,
of food will help you? Like
like
you are in desert and you
protein,
don't have
protein or protein or fats.
proteins. Proteins are basically, we have discussed that proteins are responsible for our muscles
The
growth.
muscle, like muscles,
Yeah,
yeah, growth and
they
stuff.
are,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
muscles growth
Then it will
and
be fats.
yes, because all the, as we have discussed that when we take carbohydrates or any type of food, whatever needed at that moment by the body will be used, and all the rest of the energy will be stored in the form of fats, right? So
Yes.
fats store all the energy. Okay, fats store all the remaining energy. So if you are in a desert and by chance you don't have any kind of food, so without food you can survive up to 2 weeks there. Why? Because of these fats. Because the fats in your body,
Yeah.
they have stored. There are uh, the fats in your body, and those fats will provide you energy. Also, this depend on how much fat is present in your body. For example,
Yeah.
if there are two people in the desert and one person has less concentration of fat, like this is the person A and the person B. Okay. Now the person A has 40% fat in his body and person B has 60% fat. Which one can survive for more days? Maximum limit is 2 weeks, not beyond that. Which person can survive for, like for example, you have a choice whether they can live for 7 days or 9 days
Uh,
and 2 weeks. Can you tell me what will be the appropriate option for the person A?
7 days.
Yeah, he can survive for 7 days or maybe 9 days as well. Okay, he can
Yeah.
survive, but not beyond that. What about 60%? The person who has 60% fat.
Okay. 2 weeks.
Yeah, he can survive for more days because there are more fats in his body, right? So fats
Yes.
provide you long-term energy. Okay,
Yeah.
and on the other hand, if we talk about yeah the proteins, I told you like their proteins are needed for muscular activity, right? Why, if I ask
Yeah.
you why protein, why the bodybuilders need to have more proteins as compared to an office worker?
Um. mm,
Hmm.
Compared to
Why
what?
office worker? Any person who is working in an office, and there is a
Oh,
person who is in the gym. right? There are two
Yeah,
people.
a person in
Which,
person in the gym
yeah, why we need more proteins?
because like he needs more muscles to proteins makes muscles and growth of muscles.
Yes, exactly. And also, I told you one more thing about the Lego block, the carbon. You remember? Carbon is the
Uh,
main Lego block. By
yes.
combining with the carbon, you have different things, the carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Basically, hydrogen can combine with it, oxygen can combine, nitrogen can combine, okay, in different ratios. So the carbon is the main thing. Carbon is the main Lego block of all these biological molecules. Now we are going to extend our discussion on the same topic. They have mentioned about the organic molecules. What are organic molecules? Whenever, remember this thing, whenever there is a terminology of organic, it means they are talking about the molecules which are made up of carbon. Okay, main element will be
Hmm.
carbon there. Okay, so biological molecules are often called organic molecules because many of them were discovered in living organisms. Okay, this is an MCQ. Why they are known as organic molecules? Why we say biomolecules are organic molecules? Because they are present in living
Um.
organisms. Okay,
Mhm.
you can't see a carbohydrate in a chair. You can't see a protein in a door, right?
Mm,
You can only see these
yes.
things in a living organism, okay? Whether a human being or an animal or a fish or plant, any of these things have these organic molecules and these biomolecules. Whenever we are discussing the biomolecules
Hmm.
within the living organism, we say these are known as organic molecules. Okay?
Hmm.
Are you clear with this?
Well,
About this organic molecule? What is organic molecule?
it's basically like it's discovered in like living like organisms, and
Mhm.
it contains carbon and hydrogen atoms. Uh,
Yes.
so like it yeah, so like it can
Mhm.
chain or like make structures with carbon atoms.
Yes, exactly. So any uh, biomolecules are present in the living organism. Since they are present in the living organism, that's why we also term them as organic molecules. Okay. Why biomolecules are known as organic molecules? Because they are present in the living organism, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now there is chemists have found that organic molecules are all contain carbon and hydrogen atom, often along with the other elements. What they are saying that chemists have found that organic molecules all contain what? Carbon and hydrogen. The main thing is
Yeah.
carbon and hydrogen atoms. Carbon atom bonds strongly to the other carbon atoms, so organic molecule can be large and show a wide variety of chain and ring structure. Okay, I can explain you this by on one note. Basically, carbon belongs to group number four. So what will be the
Yeah.
valency of carbon if it belongs to group number four?
Four.
Yes. You know which language is this? This Mine, Dine, Zine.
German,
Yes. How you know this?
because I knew a bit of German as well.
Mm-hmm. I am learning German. That's why.
Hmm.
Always. Mm. Okay. I usually practice articles over here. Okay. Yes, what I was saying about the carbon. Since carbon belongs to group number four, right? So it
Four.
means
Yeah.
it has four electrons in the valence
Eventual.
shell, right? And it has four electrons in the valence shell, so it means it can make four bonds. Okay, it can make four bonds, right?
Hmm.
Do you agree
Yes.
with this?
Yeah.
And basically, what happens is that carbon makes a long chain with other carbon atoms. Okay, a covalent bonding, long chain of carbon. That's why we have millions of organic compounds. If you remember, I told you that there are millions
Hmm.
of organic compounds because Carbon can combine with other carbon atom in different variety. For example, this can be one possible situation,
Yeah.
right? And in this,
Yes.
you can have double bond at some place. You can have triple bond, okay, like this. And sometimes the carbon can combine with each other in a cyclic form, okay. So this
Yeah.
will form another compound, okay. It can also combine in this manner to make a benzene molecule. So this is what they have mentioned, that carbon has its valencies for, it can make four bonds. So the main bond it will form with carbon, and the rest of the bond will be hydrogens most of the time. Okay, most of the time it will be
Yeah.
hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. Okay. So the main thing is carbon. The carbon can combine with other carbon atom. It can form double bond. It can form triple bond. Okay, it can
Mm.
form single bond with carbon. It can form a cyclic structure, right? So these different combinations about carbon tells us about that carbon can form millions of organic compounds. Okay, by different combinations there can be millions of organic compounds.
Yes.
Do you agree with this?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So this is the importance of carbon, and that's why this is the concept behind the biomolecules. That there are many biomolecules like the carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, and these carbohydrates can also be of longer chain. Okay, the protein can be of, we discussed that proteins are large in size, carbohydrates are large in size. Why they're large in size? Because of this, because of the main chain. The carbon has a main long chain. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, if you remember, if you know that, wait a minute, I can show you for the glucose. If you see this, these are two types of glucose molecules. You see what is, uh, wait a minute. Yeah. Can you tell me how many carbons are there, the main carbons in this chain? How many carbons are there?
Uh,
One,
4.
two,
No. Sorry. Sorry. 5. No. 6. 6.
yeah, there are six.
6.
This is basically the structure of glucose. Okay, this is the structure of glucose
Glucose.
molecule. So there are carbon, the main is carbon, and I told you the other one will be the hydrogen, right? Over here there is
Yes.
hydrogen, this one, then this is hydrogen, this is hydrogen, hydrogen, and over here also. Basically, this is the structure of the glucose. So you see in this one, two, three, four, five, six. The first one, on the first one you have, actually it is like this. Double bond O, H, over here there is OH. In every, if you see the carbon is making one bond with hydrogen and the other bond with hydroxide ion, okay? Hydrogen, hydroxide ion, right? So
Yes.
this is repetition. Hydrogen and hydrogen. Over here there is hydrogen. In the last there will be two hydrogens, two hydrogens and one OH group. So basically this is the structure of the glucose. If you see this, what is common? This chain, this is the backbone. Okay, you can say this is the backbone. So you see that this carbon is providing, this is the main LIGO block. Okay, and with this carbon, all other things
Hmm.
are combined. This is the structure of glucose. So,
Yeah.
and this is a large molecule, right? As compared to the your cell, as compared to the water. What is the structure of water? You know, simple water is this,
Yeah.
right? This is water. So, in comparison to this, glucose is a larger molecule. And if you remember in the diffusion, we were discussing that glucose cannot pass. So, what should happen? You should provide ATP. There should be facilitated diffusion, right? So this tells
Yes.
us that glucose is a large molecule. And why it is a large molecule? Because carbon is combined. There are six carbon atoms in it, and there is this type of arrangement. So what does this all tell us about carbon? That carbon has the property to make bond with the other carbon atoms, right?
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah, any other carbon atom, and it can usually it will, carbon is a non-metal, so it will make bond with
Yeah.
non-metals. Okay, by sharing the electrons. By sharing the electrons, it will make bond with the other carbon atom or with hydrogen or with oxygen. You can't take a metal here. Okay, remember this thing. Carbon will always make
Mhm.
bond with non-metal. So which type of bonding is this? Is this ionic or is this covalent bonding?
Uh, Covalent.
Why?
Because
Why?
what's it called? Yeah, because covalent bonding, like you have to bond with what's it called, like two non-metals, and carbon
Yes,
is
and there
both
is
non-metals.
yes, and there is sharing of electrons. Okay, in covalent bonding,
Yes.
both the species share their electrons. But in ionic bonding, we have discussed it. In ionic bonding, there is not the case of the sharing. Rather than sharing, in ionic bonding, we have seen that the metal loses electron and the non-metal gains an electron, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why this cannot be an ionic bonding because in this you can't see any species losing electron and the other species gaining electron. This is not the case. Every species is sharing the electron. Every atom is sharing the electrons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about the carbon. This is a unique property of the carbon that it can make four bonds with the same carbon atom or with the other atom. So now if you start reading from here, I am reading this one. Start from the first time. Biological molecule.
Okay, biological molecules are often called organic molecules because many of them were discovered in living organisms. Chemists have found that organic molecules all contain carbon and hydrogen atoms,
Hmm.
often along with other elements. Carbon atoms bond
So what they're saying,
strong.
basically, the main thing will be carbon and
Yes.
hydrogen. Okay, like the carbon
Mm-hmm.
will be more and hydrogen will be more. All other atoms will be lesser in number. If you count
Mm-hmm.
carbon are six, how many hydrogens are there? One, two, three, four, five,
Five,
six,
six.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you see 12 hydrogens are there. So what are they telling us?
Mm-hmm.
That you have C6, basically the formula of glucose is, the compressed formula is C6H12O6. Okay, this is the formula of glucose. In
Mm-hmm.
every species, you will see more number of carbon and hydrogen atoms and lesser number of the other atoms. This is one example. We will
Yes.
see this later on. The main thing is carbon and hydrogen. Yes, next
Okay.
from here,
So carbon
carbon.
atoms bond strongly to carbon to other carbon atoms. So organic molecules can be large and show a wide variety of chains and ring structures with many carbon atoms bonded together. Organisms need organic molecules to provide energy to drive life process, provide raw materials for the growth and repair of
Tissue.
tissues.
So basically, what they have mentioned, what is the unique property of carbon? If
Like
I ask you in the
what's it
test,
called? They can bond
what is the unique
with each
property?
other.
First thing you will mention that it can make strong bond with the other carbon atom. Okay, this is the first thing, and
Yes.
it can make long chains. Okay, long chains, larger chains. Okay, and show a variety of combination. Okay, variety of combination like
Yeah.
it can combine like this. There can be many combinations as much as possible, and it show a variety of chain and ring
Sure.
structures. Okay, with many other carbon
Yes.
atoms. And now, what are the why organic molecules are needed? Why these carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids are needed to
What's it
provide
called?
the
To provide energy and provide raw materials for growth
yes,
and repair tissues.
repair of the tissue. Okay,
Yes.
nutrition supplies a living organism with the molecules that they need. What they are saying, basically, if I am taking a food, okay, I am taking one type of food. I am not. I will not say that I am particularly choosing protein from it. Okay, every type of food it has different things. If you know, have you ever read the on the side of the tin cans or on the packets? It is written that there are carbohydrates in this much amount, the kilocalories, proteins, the ingredients. Basically, have you ever read the ingredients on the packet on food
Yeah,
packet? So those ingredients, this is what we say nutrition. A nutrition is something which provides you all these carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acid. Okay.
yeah,
So nutrition supply living organism with the molecules that are needed by the body. For example, we have discussed that before a big game, we need to take carbohydrate. Okay. So what we will do, we will intake bread. Okay. Or we will intake rice. So these are what?
mhm,
These are nutritions. Okay. These are what? These are the type of food which are providing us what? Carbohydrate. Okay.
mhm.
Are you clear with the difference between nutrition and carbohydrate? Nutrition means any food, like the food which we
Yeah,
eat.
and
Yeah. And
yes,
whatever it is providing, that will be carbohydrate, lipid, or protein. It can be
lipid
in
and
these two.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. What can come under nucleic acid? What are the two main things in the nucleic acid?
like medicines.
No, 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 no. Uh, we have discussed about the DNA, right?
Yes.
There is DNA and RNA. These are nucleic acids. What?
Oh, RNA and DNA.
Yes. What is the function of DNA?
DNA it stores like our genetic cells and like
Yeah, DNA
also like
means it has it has vast range of functions in our body. The most important thing is it is the instruction manual of your body. Okay, it is the
yes.
instruction manual. So what will it do if it is providing instructions? What can it control?
Mhm.
Hmm? What can it control?
R like RNA or DNA.
Hmm. No, no, no. I'm talking about DNA. DNA is the instruction manual.
DNA can
I'm
control
saying
like
DNA is the instruction manual of
like
our body. So now
yes,
think about it. What can it control?
maybe like our
Mhm.
like cells, like
First
our
thing,
diet.
DNA is the genetic material, right? Do
Yes,
you agree with this? So it means it carries the
yeah,
genes.
yes,
Yeah,
genes.
it carries the necessary genes which should be transferred from the parent to the offspring. It's like uh, which traits of you are similar to your father and which traits of yours are similar to your mother, right? So this
Yes.
is the responsibility of DNA. Your DNA decides. Okay.
Mhm.
And the second thing is it is the instruction manual. Okay. So it will give instruction about the cell growth. Okay. Basically, in our body, this is not the case. That have you ever think about it that your hand is so much long, like the 5 feet or 6 feet long or seven
Yes,
feet? Why is it? Why there is the why our hands are of same length? Why can't we have
because of
one hand of 10 feet long and the other hand 7 feet long?
DNA.
Yeah, it controls, it gives the instruction that over here the cell growth should be done and is in this region cell growth should be stopped. Okay, so this is the function of DNA. It controls the cell growth. Where
Yeah.
there is need of the cell growth, not only cell growth but also the proteins, which type of proteins should be produced. Okay, where should they be produced, what should be the number of the proteins. These all are controlled by the DNA. Your DNA control. Are you clear with this?
Yeah.
And in previous lecture we have also discussed the function of RNA, if you remember.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah. It like what's it called? It shows like what your genetic
Yes,
like code or stuff is.
yes, yes. DNA, basically DNA carries the necessary information. Okay, and then from the
Mhm.
DNA, the that information will be transferred in the form of RNA. Okay, and RNA are basically of three types. So it will give this to the ribosomal RNA. Okay, and ribosomal RNA will produce protein. If
Yes.
you remember this, the DNA is double stranded and RNA is single stranded, and it will this ribosomal RNA will be responsible for the proteins production.
Mhm.
Okay. The diagram on the next page shows the structure of these different groups of organic molecules like these. We will discuss these later on in the next chapter. Yeah, start reading from here. Basic biochemistry.
The basic biochemistry living organisms also contain inorganic molecules such as
Yeah.
water and a
Okay.
number of
One
ions.
important thing is that why we are saying water is inorganic. Can you tell me why it is inorganic? I have written this formula.
Inorganic
Mm.
action. Because like it's like different types of atoms combined together.
Yeah, different type of atom, but which thing is making it inorganic?
Mhm.
Hmm? Okay, let me write it like this.
Uh,
Is there carbon in the water?
Maybe because it does not like, yeah,
Is
it does
there?
not contain carbon. Yes.
Yeah. So if there is no carbon, that's why it is inorganic. Okay, most of the organic substances, uh,
Yeah, there should
not
be like
we can
what
say the
there should be,
all
there should
the
be
organic
bonds
compounds
of
have,
carbon.
yes, carbon. And there are some exceptions in which there is carbon, but they are not termed
Carbon
as
should
the
bond with each
organic
other.
compounds. Yes, there should be carbon. So in this there is no carbon, and I am telling you that there are some exceptions as well in which you will see that there is carbon, but that is not an organic compound. It's like this carbon dioxide. There is carbon, but this is not organic. Okay, there are few exceptions. Most of the time, what you will see that you have carbon, 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 long chain of
Hmm.
carbon with hydrogen and oxygen. That will be termed as organic. Clear? That will be termed as organic, and this is inorganic.
Yeah.
Clear? So water is inorganic. Now
Yes.
start reading. There are other ions as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And a number of ions. Okay. The study
Hmm.
of organic and inorganic molecules that make up living organism called biochemistry. The sum of all chemical reactions in living organisms is sometimes called metabolism.
Okay.
Large
Okay.
organic
Wait. What they
molecules
have
are
mentioned?
yeah,
They have mentioned what is biochemistry.
biochemistry.
What is this biochemistry?
Biochemistry is basically something like it's
Hmm.
like shows like how substance occurs within like
Hmm.
humans or
Yes.
organisms.
Basically, it is telling you about the different thing. Biochemistry. If we split this terminology, there are two words, right? There is bio,
Yes.
right? There is bio, and there is chemistry, right? Chemistry means
Yes.
chemical reactions which are happening in your body. Okay, so all the chemical reactions which are happening in our body, they need food. Okay, all the chemical reactions which are happening in the living
Yeah.
organisms, they are done due to the presence of the carbs, carbohydrates, proteins,
Mhm.
lipids, water, and all other inorganic substances. Okay, the water, there are carbon dioxide is also there. Okay, these things. Not we can mention this. So biochemistry deals with the what it deals with. It deals with organic as well as inorganic systems. You see the carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. We will discuss that these three are organic molecules. What we are discussing basically all the organic and inorganic substances. Sorry, there was an internet issue.
Okay, okay.
Basically, I was telling you about the carbs and the biochemistry of these things. That the carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and water, they all make up the your body's main molecule. Okay, these are known as biomolecules. And we have discussed that there are two types of substances in our body, right? There are organic substances and inorganic substances. Do you agree with this? That
Mhm.
there are organic and inorganic substances?
Yes.
Okay. And organic substances are in inorganic substances we have proteins,
Mhm.
carbohydrates, and lipids. Okay. These are what? These are organic substances. And in the inorganic substances, what we have? Water, right? Water is
Mhm.
inorganic. We will discuss carbon dioxide is inorganic. And there are a few others as well. We will discuss them side by side. So these all combine, if you combine all these molecules, what terminology we can use for them? We can say that these are what? These are biomolecules. Okay, what are these?
Bi
Yes, these are
biochemistry.
biomolecules. No,
Yeah,
these
biomolecules.
molecules are biomolecules, and what they are
Yeah,
doing? They are making biochemistry. They are making the
biochemistry.
chemistry of our life. Okay,
Yes,
are
yes.
you clear with these terminologies? What is biochemistry?
Yeah.
What are biomolecules, and all these things? Okay, good. Uh, yes, now, yeah, metabolism. What is metabolism? Metabolism is basically the chemical reactions which happen in our body. Okay,
Yeah.
like that basically when we talk about the metabolism, oh, why is it happening? This meeting will end after a few minutes, so I will share the link on your email. Okay.
Okay, okay.
The first link I will always send to you on your dad's number. The second and third I will send on your email.
Okay.
Okay. Metabolism. What is metabolism? What is
Metabolism
the
is like chemical reactions in your body.
yeah all the chemical reactions which are happening in your body. Basically, there are two main types of chemical reactions which happen in our body. You remember this? I told you the catabolism and anabolism. Hmm? No, Rohan, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
You remember we have discussed the catabolism and anabolism, the types of metabolism.
Yes, yes.
What are these?
Catabolism is basically like uh
Mhm.
like it breaks down like
Yes,
molecules like proteins, fats, lipids,
the breakdown,
carbohydrates.
and basically it is the breakdown of larger molecules to convert them into smaller molecules
Yeah.
and to get energy. Okay. For example, can you tell me example?
Anabolism,
No, catabolism. Example of catabolism.
like proteins.
So what will happen if the catabolism of proteins occurs?
Like proteins will break down like into smaller so they can release chemical energy. Like ATP becomes
Yes,
ATP.
yes. It releases the energy in the form of ATP as well as You know, in this there is another thing. Uh, you have proteins. Basically, the proteins, they will be converted into amino acids. Okay. Sometimes you don't need the exact protein. Sometimes you need the amino acid. At one place you need the amino acid. So uh, in that, what will happen? The proteins will be
Yeah.
catabolized. Okay, the proteins will be catabolized. This is known as catabolism. This is also a type of metabolism. Okay,
Mhm.
you know, chemical reaction will occur. Definitely, all, there are many types of proteins. Not all proteins will break down into amino acids. Specific type of protein will be converted into amino acid. It depends on the body need, what body needs. Okay, and this reaction, these all reactions will be controlled by our nucleus. Okay, because nucleus is the main body of the cell. Clear? So the anabolism
Yeah.
is the exactly opposite. Now, can you tell me what is an anabolism?
Um, is it like I'm not sure, but
This is the opposite of catabolism. Now, think
yeah,
of this.
yeah. Like it
So, what will
makes
happen?
up
Yes,
like it makes complex
the,
molecules from
yes,
small
smaller
molecules.
molecules will combine. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Good.
to become bigger molecules.
Mm. To form larger molecules. Okay, they will combine to form larger molecules. And in this process, you energy is needed for anabolism. Okay, energy is needed. Any example of this?
Um, like muscle growth because like it forms like new muscles or like when you grow like growth like
Not
I'm not
muscle growth.
sure.
We are talking about the molecules. I am
Yeah.
saying this is exactly opposite of the catabolism. So what can happen? Basically, you will
Like
have amino acids, right? And amino acid will
yes,
combine to form proteins. Okay,
yes.
simple example.
Mhm.
Similarly, over here, catabolism means you have carbohydrates. Okay, carbohydrates are large molecules. They will be broken down to release the glucose, right? And from the
Yeah.
glucose there is ATP. You can simply say, or you can say, yeah, we can mention that there's a large molecule, then you can have glucose, and then glucose will release ATP when it will be broken down. Okay. So
Hmm.
similarly, in this, what you will have smaller molecules. They will combine to form a to make a large glucose molecule. Clear?
Yeah.
Basically, there should be an example of glucose and pyruvic acid. Glucose is a bigger molecule, and pyruvic acid is a small molecule.
Hmm.
Glucose is broken down into this, and this will be opposite. Pyruvic acid will combine to form the glucose. Clear? These are the two types of reaction which occur